I do not have any suicidal thoughts. If I committed suicide, it's not real.
That was the new owner of Twitter, Elon Musk, speaking online Saturday in reference to possible fallout from his decision to release the company's files on its suppression shortly before the 2020 election of a news story that would have been highly damaging to then-candidate Joe Biden and which ended up resulting in the banning of then-President Donald Trump from the platform in the final days of the election. Last week, Musk released internal documents to journalist Matt Taibbi detailing how Twitter execs had colluded with U.S. government agencies to quash news about Hunter Biden's laptop. The device had turned up at a Delaware repair shop that was bristling with incriminating emails. 3 weeks before the election, the New York Post broke a story about files retrieved from the laptop, which included emails about the Biden family's business dealings in Ukraine, among other matters. This report by Nancy Cordes at CBS News was typical of the little coverage and massive repositioning that the story was given in U.S. media.
Experts say it has all the hallmarks of information laundering and all the headaches of 2016.
I have nothing to say about WikiLeaks.
Back then, it was Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta whose emails were stolen and then dribbled out in the last month of the race. This time, it's a tabloid newspaper dribbling out emails, purportedly swiped from Vice President Joe Biden's son.
This is a big smoking gun.
The go-between this time isn't WikiLeaks, but Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani, who says he got the emails from a computer repairman in Delaware.
He wanted us to have this. He also thought it displayed numerous crimes. So he gave them to my lawyer. We have the entire hard drive.
Giuliani has admitted before to working with a known Russian agent to dig up dirt on the Bidens.
This looks like your classic disinformation campaign.
Eric O'Neill is a former FBI operative.
Steal the information with a cyber attack, get the emails from Hunter Biden's account, and then put them on these laptops that are left at a repair store. And that's how the information is now laundered into the public.
Who do you think is behind this?
Well, the Russians would be my number one guess, if I had to guess.
Another echo of 2016, though this time social media outlets were quick to limit the spread of the story. Twitter briefly suspending the accounts of the Trump campaign and White House press secretary after they tried to share it. The campaign threatened to sue as allies on Capitol Hill cried censorship.
The Senate Judiciary Committee wants to know what the hell is going on.
That story was summarized by CBS News anchor Norah O'Donnell as follows.
Then and now, the goal of these incidents appears to be the same: to cast a cloud over the frontrunner in the closing weeks of the campaign using a drip, drip, drip of emails that create the air of scandal, even though Republican-led congressional investigations have never uncovered any evidence of wrongdoing by Vice President Biden.
This weekend, Musk was asked by Clayton Morris on the Redacted podcast to comment on the various journalists and public officials who have piled on attacks against Taibbi after breaking the Twitter disclosures.
Well, I think those people should be looking in the mirror and wondering why they were deceptive. Why did they deceive the American public? And instead of trying to redirect blame to Matt Taibbi, they should be accepting some responsibility themselves for not being truthful to the American public.
The headline of the suppressed New York Post story was this: Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to VP dad. This was with a byline of Emma Jo Morris and Gabrielle Fonrouge. The story reads that Hunter Biden introduced his father, then vice president, to a top executive at a Ukrainian energy firm less than a year before the elder Biden pressured government officials in Ukraine into firing a prosecutor who was investigating the company. This was according to emails that were obtained by the Post. The never-before-revealed meeting was mentioned in a message that Vadim Pozharsky, an advisor to the board of Burisma, had allegedly sent to Hunter Biden on April 17, 2015, about a year after Hunter had joined the board of Burisma at a reported salary of approximately $50,000 a month. According to the Post, the email reads as follows: Dear Hunter, Thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together. It's really an honor and pleasure. An earlier email from May 2014 allegedly shows Pozharskyi, the then number 3 exec at Burisma, asking Hunter for, quote, advice on how you could use your influence, closed quote, on the company's behalf. This correspondence flies in the face of Joe Biden's claim that he's, quote, never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings, close quote. The Post said it was contained in a massive trove of data recovered from a laptop computer. Then sitting President Donald Trump was banned from the platform for trying to tweet a link to the story at the New York Post website in the final days of the campaign and remained banned up until the past few days. Musk promises more releases and said that the purpose here is to restore faith in the integrity of the platform.
I mean, on the Twitter file stuff, I mean, the idea here is simply to come clean on everything that has happened in the past in order to have build public trust for the future. I think that's essential. Like, why should people believe Twitter in the future if Twitter does not come clean about the past? That's what it comes down to. So it's just obvious that there's been a lot of controlled information, suppression of information, including things that affected elections, and that just all needs to be, it's kind of like this friggin' Stasi files, like at the point you just want to have this stuff out there. So I've given Matt Taibbi, and then just recently, just about an hour ago, Barry Weiss, access to all Twitter documents. So it's like unfettered access to anything. And this is not like a, North Korean tour guide situation. This is, you get to go anywhere you want, whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want. So I'm not like, controlling the narrative, or I didn't, I was seeing Matt's tweets as he was tweeting them. So I'm like, I was just as eager to see them as everybody else. And I think Matt did a great job. I mean, there are a few cases where I think we should have excluded some email addresses. Sorry, Jack. Jack at Pizza is now, might need a different email address. But so we also need to, not have email addresses in there. And I think we need to post more actual source documents, so then people can draw their own conclusions.
And we will continue to cover that as it develops. For KPFK News, I'm Don DeBar.